Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're taking a deep dive into the incredible career of Taylor Swift.
A true icon.
Absolutely. We've got a snippet of her biography here, and I'm really excited to uncover how she went from a small town girl.
To a global superstar.
Yeah. It's gonna be a wild ride.
Well, you know what always amazes me? It's not just the talent, it's the early dedication with Taylor.
Oh yeah.
Think about it. Most 9-month-olds, they're just figuring out what their favorite toy is, you know? But Taylor was already drawn to music
I know.
at 9 months.
Yeah.
They say she was on horseback just totally vibing with the rhythm.
It's like she was destined for music from the beginning.
Totally.
And she wasn't messing around either. I mean, winning a national poetry competition at such a young age.
Oh, with Monster in My Closet.
Yeah. Shows she was a born storyteller even back then. What do you think? Was that the early seed for her songwriting?
I think it's crucial, that connection to poetry. It honed her ability to craft narratives, to play with words.
To evoke emotion.
Exactly. All the things you need to be a great songwriter.
And it's so interesting how those passions from childhood, poetry, music,
Yeah.
they all kind of come together to shape a career, which brings us to her family's move to Nashville.
Oh, that's a big one.
Well, what a decision. Was
Yeah.
that a make or break moment for her, do you think?
It was a huge gamble, but it shows how much they believed in her.
Right.
Imagine being 12, flying back and forth to Nashville,
Oh, yeah.
and then eventually your whole family picks up and moves
To chase a dream.
just to support your dream. So remarkable.
Oh, the power of family.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so she's in Nashville, the heart of country music.
A heart.
How does she go from aspiring singer to, chart-topping sensation at 16?
Well, that debut album, that was strategically brilliant.
What do you mean?
I mean, number 5 on the Billboard chart
For how long?
and staying there for 157 weeks.
That's insane.
That's not luck. That's talent and some really savvy marketing.
So, break it down for us. What made that album so successful?
I think choosing Tim McGraw as that first single, that was genius.
Oh, smart.
Instant connection with the young country fans.
Oh, yeah.
The ones who already loved Tim McGraw.
Instant name recognition.
You got-
And then, Here Drops My Guitar. Oh my gosh, that song, it basically defined high school heartbreak
For a whole generation.
for everyone. I'm sure you've heard countless stories of people connecting with that song.
For the time.
What is it about it?
It's universal. That's the thing. Everyone remembers those first crushes, those awkward feelings.
Yeah, unrequited love.
Yeah, and Taylor, she took those everyday emotions.
It made them anthems.
Exactly.
It's like she's singing right to you about your life.
It's powerful.
It's crazy. But she didn't stop there. A Grammy for Album of the Year at such a young age.
Monumental.
For Fearless. I mean, what do you think resonated with the Grammy voters with that one?
Everything. The writing was top-notch. The themes were universal.
Love Heart.
Growing up, it captured a cultural moment.
That's a classic.
Plus, it was just a darn good country album. She didn't reinvent the wheel.
But she perfected it.
Yeah, she did.
So it seemed like she had country music on lock, 3 hit albums in, but then she makes a bold move. She goes, pop.
Big change.
Was that risky?
It was a gamble.
For sure.
But Red, that was the bridge,
Yeah.
between those country roots and...
Oh, the pop aspiration.
Exactly. It blended those musical styles, hinting at what was coming next.
Like dipping her toes in the pop pool.
Exactly.
Ah.
And then came 1989.
Oh, yeah.
The full plunge.
The full synth pop masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
This wasn't just a genre shift, it was a sonic reinvention.
Total reinvention.
But how did she pull it off, without alienating her core fan base? I mean, country and pop, they're worlds apart.
That's the thing about Taylor Swift. The sound changed, but the storytelling, the relatable lyrics, that stayed the same.
She was still singing about the stuff that mattered to her fans.
Love, heartbreak, friendship.
She brought them along for the ride.
Exactly.
And she's done so much more than music, though, right? Acting, hosting. She even has her own perfume line.
It's true.
It's like she's conquered every corner of the entertainment world.
Well, it's clear she's not one to just sit back and relax.
What do you think drives that ambition?
She's always pushing boundaries, exploring new things. She's built a brand for herself.
It's amazing. But with all that, she seems to have kept her head on straight. How has she navigated all that fame and stayed true to herself?
Well, that's a question we'll explore further in the next part of our deep dive. Stay tuned as we uncover the woman behind the music, the philanthropist, the role model, and the global icon that is Taylor Swift.
Welcome back. So we've been tracing Taylor's journey from those early days in Nashville to full-blown pop superstardom. But now,
Now for the good stuff.
yeah, let's dig into the music, those chart-topping albums.
Each one, a chapter in her evolution.
They really do tell a story, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Each album is a snapshot of where she was at,
Yeah.
musically, emotionally.
Totally. Okay, so rewind back to 2006. Her debut album, Taylor Swift,
Pure country.
it's the scene full of those relatable teenage tales of love and heartbreak. Do you remember where you were when you first heard Teardrops on My Guitar?
Of course.
Yeah.
That album was like a breath of fresh air.
It felt so
Genuine.
real, and she was only 16.
I know.
To have that kind of songwriting maturity.
It seemed remarkable.
It's unreal, but she didn't just stop there. 2 years later, Fearless comes out.
Oh, yeah.
And it captured everyone's hearts. What was it about that album, do you think?
I think Fearless took everything from her debut and just made it bigger.
Yeah.
Better production, stronger songwriting, and the themes, they resonated even more.
It wasn't just about teenage love anymore. It
It was about growing up.
dreams, aspirations.
Like she was growing up with her fans.
Right alongside them. And Fearless, that wasn't just a commercial success. It made history,
Oh, yeah, it did.
didn't it?
4 Grammys,
4
including Album of the Year.
youngest artists ever to win that award.
Ever. It really cemented her as like a force in the music industry.
A force to be reckoned with.
For sure.
Okay, but she wasn't done breaking records. 2010 Speak Now comes out, and get this, she wrote the whole thing by herself.
All on her own.
What a
Talk about creative control.
Was that a bold move?
There's a declaration of independence.
Yeah.
Speak Now is like raw, unfiltered Taylor.
It's like she was giving us her diary.
So personal.
Dear John, that song.
Oh my gosh, that song.
So raw.
It just,
Heartbreak.
yeah, you can feel it. It's amazing. And I think that's part of what makes her music so
Impelling.
powerful.
Yeah.
She's not afraid to share her experiences, even the hard ones. It makes her so
Relatable.
human.
Absolutely.
So we've got 3 country albums, superstar status.
Yeah.
But then 2012 rolls around. Red drops.
It wasn't like a complete break from country,
But it hinted at a change.
something new was coming.
Red was the bridge
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
between those country roots and,
Yeah.
like you said, something new. You hear those pop influences, the rock, even a little bit of dubstep in there.
She was experimenting,
Oh, yeah,
pushing the boundaries, expanding.
totally.
And then 2014, 1989.
1989,
Full-blown pop.
full-blown pop phenomenon.
Phenomenon. That album it was a moment.
A cultural moment.
Those music videos,
As the Hanukkah,
the tour,
the fashion.
everything. It felt like a whole new era of Taylor Swift, and the world was obsessed.
Obsessed.
But the crazy thing is, she did it all without losing
Herself.
her authenticity. The songwriting was still sharp.
The themes were still there.
Relatable.
And that voice, that Taylor Swift voice,
Yeah.
it was still front and center.
She managed to change her sound and stay true to who she was. That's a tough thing to do.
It's a balance.
It's incredible she nailed it. But then a few years later, Reputation comes out.
Ooh, Reputation.
2017, it was a little bit darker, a little bit edgier, compared.
1989 was so bright.
Yeah. Yeah, so bright, Poppy.
Yo.
Why the shift, do you think?
Reputation. That was a response to the media scrutiny, the public feuds, all that stuff.
It was about taking back control.
Reclaiming her narrative.
Yeah, like she was saying.
This is who I am, deal with it.
Yeah, and the fans loved it.
They did. It shows she wasn't afraid to be vulnerable, to express, anger, frustration, all those things.
It made her even more relatable.
Yeah,
Like, even global superstars, they're still human.
They have feelings.
They get to fight back.
Yeah.
But then after that darkness, she comes back with Lover.
2019, it was like a breath of fresh air.
All about love.
Light, color, romance.
Yeah.
It felt like a return to like the classic Taylor.
That whimsical, playful energy. What do you think she was trying to say with that one?
I think Lover was about like all forms of love.
Mm-hmm.
Self-acceptance, forgiveness, connection.
It's like a reminder that
Yeah.
even after heartbreak, there's always love.
Absolutely.
And then 2020, double whammy, she drops 2 albums
Folklore and Evermore.
back to back. And they were different, a little bit more
Yeah.
indie folk, stripped down.
Introspective.
Kind of unexpected, right? Especially after Lover.
Yeah.
What do you make of that shift?
Folklore and Evermore. They felt like a reset, like a deep breath. Storytelling was the focus.
Yeah.
Really poetic.
It's amazing how she can just jump between genres and still tell a story, still capture those
Yeah.
emotions.
It's a gift.
She's incredible. It's wild to think about how much music she's made.
And the variety.
Country pop, folk, and with each album, she's pushed the boundaries, broken records,
Inspired millions.
touched so many
It's a
lives.
testament to her vision.
To her fearlessness, she's not afraid to experiment, to evolve, to challenge herself and us as listeners.
She's a true artist.
But what about the woman behind the music?
Yeah.
What makes Taylor Swift tick beyond the stage, beyond the recording studio? Welcome back. We've been unpacking Taylor Swift's incredible musical journey, all those different genres, all those hits. But now,
Now we get personal.
yeah, let's talk about the woman behind the music. What makes Taylor Swift tick when she's not, on stage or in the studio?
Well, it's easy to get caught up in the spectacle of it all, but Taylor Swift she's so much more than just a musician.
Oh, for sure.
She's a role model. She's a philanthropist.
Right.
She really uses her platform to make a difference.
Absolutely. And her philanthropy, it's inspiring. In the biography, they talked about her commitment to cancer awareness.
Especially after her mom's diagnosis.
Yeah. That must been really tough for her.
It was, and you can see how she channeled that pain into something positive. She's not just like a spokesperson. She's actively involved in supporting organizations, initiatives.
Putting in the work.
Yeah.
It's one thing to talk about it. It's another to actually do something. And speaking of influences, her relationship with her grandmother, the opera singer,
Oh, yeah.
that always stood out to me. It's like that early exposure to music, that passion passed down through generations, it really shaped her, don't you think?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It shows how family legacies, they can really influence our paths.
Yeah.
Her grandmother's love for music, it nurtured Taylor's talent, inspired her to go after her dreams.
For sure.
It reminds us that we're all shaped by those who came before us.
And that music, the arts, they can really connect generations.
Oh, yeah.
It's powerful stuff. Okay, but let's be real for a second. No deep dive into Taylor Swift would be complete without talking about those high-profile relationships.
Oh, they've been a constant source of headlines.
Oh, sure.
But they've also inspired some of her most iconic songs.
What is it about her songwriting, especially when it comes to love and heartbreak, that resonates with so many people?
It's her vulnerability, I think.
Mhm.
She doesn't hold back. She shares it all, even the painful stuff.
She lays it all out there.
Yeah, and that honesty, it connects with people on such a deep level. It's
Mhm.
like she's right there with you going through the same things.
Going through those ups and downs of love and life.
Exactly.
It's like we're reading her diary,
It's powerful.
It's amazing. And even though she values her privacy, she never loses that authenticity.
Even with all the heartbreak, the scrutiny,
Yeah.
she stays true to herself.
And in a world where everything feels so filtered, so curated, that's refreshing,
Oh, yeah.
isn't it?
She's not trying to fit into any mold. She embraces her flaws, her quirks.
It's a powerful message for her fans, especially, young women who are bombarded with all these impossible expectations.
Absolutely. She's saying it's okay to be yourself.
Even when the world tells you to be someone else. And let's not forget those little details that make her so relatable. Like, did you know she's a huge cat lover?
Oh, yeah.
Her cats are practically celebrities.
They're famous. And those little details, they're important.
I think so, too.
They humanize her, Remind us that she's not just this superstar. She's a person with passions, quirks.
Just like us.
Exactly. Makes her feel more approachable.
And she's full of surprises. Like, who knew she could play the banjo?
It's true. It's like she's always evolving, always discovering new things about herself.
It's amazing.
And that's part of the magic of Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
She's multifaceted. She's got depth, complexity.
Right.
She's a talented musician, a savvy businesswoman, a dedicated philanthropist, a role model for so many.
It's inspiring.
It is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm just in awe of her journey. From a small-town girl with a dream to a global icon.
It's incredible.
She's redefined what it means to be a successful artist in the 21st century.
She's broken records. She's broken barriers.
And she's used her platform to inspire, to empower.
Absolutely.
But what really shines through is her ability to stay grounded, to stay true to herself, even with all that fame.
That's the key takeaway.
It really is.
Success, that comes and goes.
But authenticity.
That's timeless.
Well said. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Taylor Swift. We hope you've enjoyed it, and maybe you've been inspired to to explore her music, her story, her impact on the world a little bit further.
There's always more to discover.
Until next time.